Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make an easy crochet pillow using a 1-row repeat. The free pattern can be found on my website at juleandjones.com, and you can find a link for that in the description box below. Alright, here are some of the materials you are going to need to make this chunky crochet pillow. So before we begin, I just quickly want to note that this pattern can be made in 2 different sizes and it can be made in 2 different ways. And so whichever way you pick, this of course will determine how much yarn you're going to need. Okay, so the 2 sizes you can make this pattern in is you can either do an 18 by 18 inch one or you can do a 20 by 20 inch one. Okay, and so you can either make 1 panel, sew it onto a pillow cover, or you can crochet 2 panels and seam them together. All right, so it all depends on what you would like to do. Okay, so the yarn that you're going to need for this pattern is you're going to need some bulky weight yarn. I'm using Line Brand Hupeless Me yarn, which is a number 5 bulky weight yarn. And so in the pattern, I'm using it in the color Salt, and just for the tutorial, I have a different color. And you're also going to need a 6.5 millimeter crochet hook, which is a letter K. And then if you choose to sew it onto your pillow cover, you're just going to need some thread and a needle. And you're also going to need a darning needle, a pair of scissors. And then this one is optional, but I found it really handy when I was seaming the 2 panels together, as well as when I was sewing it onto the pillow cover. But they're just these little clips. I think they use them a lot in sewing, but I found them really handy. But this is totally optional. You can also just use regular pins. All right, let's go ahead and get started with our pattern. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make a swatch of the stitch that is used in the pattern because you're only going to be using 1 stitch. So it's a 1-row repeat. And so you can go ahead and follow along with the swatch. If so, you want to go ahead and chain 12. If you want to go ahead and start the pattern, you want to chain 48 for the small size, so the 18 inch, and you want to chain 56 for the large size, the 20 inch one. All right, so first things first is we need to make a slip knot. So go ahead and take the tail end of your yarn and wrap it around your finger twice. Take the back piece, push it over the front piece. Then take the front piece, push it over the back piece and over your finger, and then pull tight. And there you go, you just created a slip knot. So go ahead and take your crochet hook, insert it into that loop, and then pull tight one more time. All right, so let's go ahead and chain 12. So to make a chain, wrap the yarn over your hook and pull through that loop. All right, and just continue to do that until you have the right amount of chains. All right, so once you have your right amount of chains, we are going to start our row 1. So for row 1, we want to work a double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook. So 1, 2, and 3. Go ahead and wrap the yarn over your hook, insert it into that 3rd chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, and then yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops for a double crochet. Now we want to chain 2 and work a single crochet in the following chain. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops, and there you go. All right, and so this is also going to be our sequence for the remainder of row 1. So this is what we want to do. You want to skip the next 2 chains, 1 and 2. You want to make a double crochet in the next chain. So go ahead and work your double crochet. Now we're going to work another double crochet in that same chain, because this beginning part right here, this chain that we worked, that also counts as a double crochet. Okay, so we just made 2 double crochets in the same chain. Now we are going to chain 2 again and single crochet in the following chain. All right, so you should have something that looks like this. Okay, so now let's do it again. So we're going to skip 2 chains, 1 and 2, and we are going to work that sequence again. So make 2 double crochets in the following chain, chain 2, and a single crochet in the next one. And there you go, your row 1 is finished. Okay, so now we're going to work row 2. All right, so row 2 starts off by chaining 2. So go ahead and chain 2, turn your work, because now we're working on the back side. And now our first step is to work 2 double crochets, 2 chains, and a single crochet all within this space. Okay, and so it's going to be the same sequence as row 1. All right, so go ahead and work a double crochet in that space. So just insert your hook and work your double crochet. And then work another one for 2 double crochets. All right, and now we are going to chain 2 and then work a single crochet. All right, so you should have something that looks like this. Okay, and so next what we're going to do is we are just going to repeat that sequence until the end of the row. So we're going to skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to work 2 double crochets, 2 chains, and single crochet in this space right here. So go ahead and work your double crochets, your 2 chains, and your single crochet. All right, and now we're going to skip 3 stitches again, 1, 2, and 3. And go ahead and work your little sequence. So 2 double crochets, chain 2, and your single crochet. And that completes row 2. All right, and so the remainder of the pattern gets very easy because all you're going to do is just repeat row 2. So you would chain 2, turn your work, so you'd be working on the front side, and then you just work that sequence again. All right, and so you just want to work a few more rows for your swatch. So I'm going to do the exact same thing, and then I'll be back here to show you what it looks like. All right, so I've worked a few more rows here, and so this is what you should look like. You'll see these really pretty little scallops. Okay, and so now you're finished with your swatch, and if you feel comfortable, you can go ahead and start the pattern. So if you did go ahead and start the pattern, for the small size, you want to go ahead and continue to repeat row 2 until you get to row 23. Okay, so row 23 is your last row. And then if you made the large size, you want to continue until row 25. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start with my pattern. So I'll show you the small size in bigger form, what it looks like, and then I will meet you right back here. Okay, so I just worked another panel in the color that the pattern calls for. All right, and so you should have something that looks like this now. Okay, and so our next step in the pattern is to make our foundation chain look like the other 3 sides, because right now we only have 3 sides that are scalloped. Okay, and so this part is optional, but I do find that it makes a prettier pillow at the end just because all sides are matching, but it's up to you, so do whatever you would like. All right, and so what we need to do is we need to attach the yarn back to the foundation chain. So the panel is facing the right side right now. I'm just gonna flip it for a minute like this. So the beginning of the foundation chain is on my right side. All right, and you wanna go ahead and grab your crochet hook, and you are going to insert it into the first spot that is easiest for you, okay? So that is right here for me towards the very edge. So I'm just gonna take my crochet hook. I'm gonna grab my yarn, and I've already made a slip knot. So go ahead and make your slip knot. Then insert your hook into the loop of the slip knot, pull the slip knot tight. All right, then hold it like this, and you are gonna pull it through. And now you're just going to chain 2. All right, so you should have something that looks like this. Okay, and so now we are going to work that little sequence that we've been working for all of the rows in this spot right here. All right, and this is for only the first part. Okay, so go ahead and work another double crochet. So you have 2 double crochets. All right, and then for the next part, what we are going to do is we are going to be making another double crochet. So because we work the chain here and then 2 double crochets, we're going to mimic the exact same thing. All right, so let's go ahead and make another double crochet to create that little scallop. Then we're going to chain 2 and then work your single crochet. All right, so you should have something that looks like this. Okay, so it'll start to match the other sides. All right, so next what we need to do is we need to find our next space. So it's not this space just because we just worked one, but it's the following one. And you can tell because you can see your single crochet. This is where our chain 2 should be, and then those 2 double crochets. Okay, so then we want to go ahead and insert our hook in there and work your 2 double crochets, 2 chains, and your single crochet. All right, so you should have something that looks like this. You'll have a bit more of an open spot here. So if you wanted to stick your hook in a different spot, you totally could. I really don't mind it, but it's up to you. All right, and so you just want to continue that all the way along the edge till the end. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and work or finish my row, and then I will show you what it looks like. All right, so I just added my additional row to my foundation chain, and you should have something that looks like this. Now our next step in our pattern is to either sew your 1 panel onto your pillow cover or seam your 2 panels together. I'm going to be showing you how to do both in this tutorial. So the first thing I'm going to show is how to sew it onto your pillow cover. All right, so your first step in sewing your crochet panel onto your fabric backing is to grab your fabric backing, so your pillow cover, place it down first, then grab your crochet cover, put it right on top, make sure the scalloped edges are peeking over the top a little bit, then go ahead and grab those clips that I talked about if you decided to use them, and go ahead and place them within each scallop. I find that it really helps hold it in place, and they're definitely worth the money for sure. So there you go. All right, I've already done a whole bunch of mine. And once you've done that, you want to go ahead and flip the covering to you. Okay, so because we want to work on the right side. And you want to go ahead and grab your pillow covering, so this part, as well as your crochet fabric. Take your needle and thread, and we are going to work from the back to the front. So place it on the very edge, your needle. Okay, then grab your fabric, or your crochet cover, and place it in that middle stitch and pull through, making sure just to leave a little bit of thread over. Okay, and then go ahead and work your way back. So back through the crochet part first, the crochet panel, and then the fabric backing. And pull tight. Oops, mine's got a little bit stuck. There we go. All right, now take that beginning thread that we just had and go ahead and tie a knot, and just tie a few knots. Oops, my yarn is getting all tangled up here. There we go. All right, I'm gonna tie another knot here, and you can always tie more knots in the end, or you can even go over it again. All right, so it's nice and secure. Okay, and now what we're gonna do is make sure those little scallops stay peaked to the top, and so if you use these clips, they'll help keep it all in place. But we are just gonna go from the back to the front, okay? Always placing that needle in one of the middle stitches. Just like that. And then go again from your crochet panel to your backing. Now you can continue on to do this, or you can just do it double. So what I mean by that is that you can stick it back again into that same spot and then pull it through one more time for extra security. Okay, so let's do it again. So you want to go from the front to the back. Mine's getting a little stuck here. There we go. Okay, and then go again from the back to the front. Okay, and then just pull it through. And there you go. This is from the beginning. All right, but you just want to continue to do that all the way around the covering, and you should have something that looks like this. It'll look very nice and neat, and it does stay very secure. All right, so just continue to do that until you've finished and you're here at the beginning. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the next part where I show you how to whip stitch your 2 crochet panels together if you chose to do that method for this pillow. Okay, so if you chose to whip stitch your 2 crochet panels together, this is what you want to do. All right, so this might look a little funny, but it is actually my swatch that I started with, and so I made 2 swatches. All right, and so what you want to do is you want to go ahead and first place your little clips around the swatch to keep it in place, and I placed it in the corner of each little scallop. All right, now I'm going to start with this corner. You want to go ahead and take your yarn, and I'm just using a lighter color yarn just to show you because I think it shows better on camera for this part. But what you want to do is, because we're using the whip stitch method, is you are going to stick your darning needle through the stitch. Okay, so there's 2 loops on here from the stitch, and stick it through just like that. Okay, so I have 2 panels on there. You're going to pull through. All right, and then you are going to come back around to the front, and you are going to put it in the following stitch. Okay, so mine is right here, just like that, and you're going to pull through. Okay, so it looks like this. And that's all there is to the whip stitch method. All right, so let's do it again. So take your hook, put it into the next stitch, making sure to always go through those 2 loops and pull it through. Just like that. Okay, and so you're going to go in the form of the scallop. So I'm just going to do one more just to show you. And there you go. And so you should have like that. And so I'm going to take a clip off real quick. But see how that's together? And so that's how your crochet pillow will look like all the way around, except you can use a contrasting color if you'd like, or you can just use the same color as the crochet panel. So it's up to you. All right, and that is how you do the whip stitch method. All right, and so that is how you make this crochet pillow. So I decided to make mine using the fabric backing method. All right, and so this is the front side, and then this is the back side of my crochet pillow. And so one last thing that you can do is you can add some embellishments. You can add a little tag to the front of it, or you could even make a little handmade yarn skein like I did right here. I think it's so cute, and who doesn't love a cute little yarn skein? I added it to my zipper, so I think it adds the perfect finishing touch. And you can see the little cute little scallops here on the end. And yeah, so that is how you make this pattern. And so you can find all the pattern notes and directions on my website at julesandjones.com. There's also a link in the description box. If you would like a PDF pattern, that's also available in the link in the description box. And yeah, that is it. And so if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, everyone.